we've got a couple of LG Ultrafine 5K and 4K boards to wrap up today. Let me go grab my laptop so we can test these out. Okay. So, Muhammad was saying that this monitor seems to work a little iffy for them. Okay, let's break our parts out so we can test this first, because I'm not 100% positive if it just needed the USB port or if they were having other issues. So let's just do a quick sanity check. Also, I want to make sure nothing is missing from the board. These don't seem to keep all of their parts sometimes. But this one looks all right. Nothing missing. Okay. Get our power supply plugged in. Let's get our monitor sense in. Let's get our display plugged in. And I'm just plugging this into a switched outlet so that way I can turn it on and off without unplugging it every time. All right. And then we need our input source, of course. And that does feel a little loose. Let's see what it does. I've got power. That's it. Power source. It's not even charging the battery. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that does seem like it's just not connected all the way. There is a test button on these that we can make sure the board still works. Which it's not. It's not turning on for us. Okay. Let's try reseating the cables one more time here. Sometimes that's all they want. Regardless of the condition of the USB port, they should still test fine. I'm just dropping everything today. All right, take two. Debug. Yeah, something's not right, and I don't think it has anything to do with the USB port. So to get this shield off, they're actually pretty easy. They're just stuck on there a little bit. If it doesn't want to come off, we can use a little bit of isopropyl alcohol on here. There we go. Well, the USB port is definitely crooked. But again, without it even giving us any image when we push the test button here, I'm inclined to not bother, unfortunately. It's weird because they said, if we go back to their email here, let's see, they took the logic board out, notice this thick plate around it, we got that taken off. They said, my main problem is the monitor works 90% of the time, for whatever reason on my work laptop, MacBook Pro, which we also have here, but never works on my personal computer, an M1 Mac Mini, with any cable. And it doesn't work with the Apple Thunderbolt 4 cable. So, they said that it worked some of the time, at least, if not 90% of the time. All right, one more try. making sure my cable's good. Yeah. All right. All or nothing. Nah, it's not working. Well, shoot, I wanted to fix this for them. Oh, I do have a flickering image on that monitor there. I think we should try the USB port then, huh? Oh, okay, so diagnostic mode is kind of working, but I'll show you. It's kind of messed up. Now you can't see that very well. There you go. It is testing, but it's flickering a lot doing it. And I can't tell if messing with the USB port makes it worse or better. So is this a USB port issue, or is this a different issue? Some quick Googling, let's see. I think I will actually consult the fellow that sends in 5K boards for repair all the time, because he may have seen something similar to this and can give me a little more insight. Maybe it is all the USB port causing that erratic behavior. Or maybe it's something else. All right. So we've got another ultrafine board here from Justin, the fellow that I was actually just talking about. He's got a few 4K and 5K boards that we need to take care of here. Here's our first one, and it actually already has the port taken off from somebody else, and it does have all of its pads still, so this one looks like we'll have a pretty good chance at getting it off. So we're gonna go ahead and take the fan connector off the back of the board. Actually, I'm tempted to let's see. I want to try this. Somebody had suggested using just a little bit of metal shielding to cover the fan connector instead of pulling it off and putting it back on. And I agree. It's like I already did something similar for the subwoofer connector on the amplifier board for the HomePod. I'm sure we could figure something out for these boards, save ourselves a little bit of time messing with that fan connector. Because if we don't have to touch that to do any of this, that would be preferred. All right. We'll see how that works. And let's go ahead and prep our board, get a new USB port out and prep that up. We'll slap some flux on there. The repair goo. And get some of that low melt. It's not super low melt. If you the lower the melt of solder, typically the more brittle it'll be. And you, of course, do not want to use brittle solder on, especially a repair like this where the whole problem in the first place was the port breaking off the board. Everything is tinned. Where did I put that? I have a big thick steel plate around here that's supposed to be for my metal doohickeys, my little grabber arms. I suppose this will actually do. Not quite. All right. And that fan connector looks fantastic, no pun intended. So that is a pretty legit Strat there. Not sure if I got that port on perfectly straight. Yeah, it looks a little crooked. We'll have to hit that again. All right, one more go. That's a lot better. Okay. In the moment of truth, can we in fact use this little shield here to not have to take that fan connector off? The answer is yes. There's our fan connector. Looks like it hasn't even been touched. So all we did was take an old RF shield off of a HomePod's logic board. It just so happens to be tall enough to cover this fan connector right next to where we need to heat up the board to get these connectors off. Very nice. But none of it matters if this doesn't work. So let's plug it all up and see what we got. Make sure my power's off. Yeah, that saves me a good chunk of time and hassle to not have to deal with that fan connector every time now. Alright. It's on. Nothing's blown up yet. Let's do the quick test. Alright. So it is on. And let's see. Self-test worked. Let's power up the laptop. On. Computer. Computer. Oh boy, just got a bunch of crap in there. What's in my USB ports? Yucky. Okay. Take two. All right, it says it's charging. Probably got to do the port one more time here. what it's looking like. Okay. Clamp it up. if this don't work, I would be inclined to believe there's something else wrong with the board. Pins are solid on that side. They look solid. All right. Same exact behavior. Charges my laptop. Does not do anything else. What about the other ports? The other ports don't do anything. Damn. Okay. I believe this one does not work either. Which I'm not too surprised given it had what appears to be previous work done on it. Boards that had previous work done on them are always a bit of a crapshoot whether we can get them working or not. But geez, I want to get at least something fixed up here for you guys. All right. Well, let's take a look at this one. What does this one do? This one appears to just need the port replaced, like all of them. But this one has already had its port replaced once before. So let's see what this one gives us. All right, so it's testing fine. Yeah, that's not doing nothing. It's charging, but it's not seeing a display connected. Oh. I think it is. Alright, this one keeps going in and out, so I'm pretty sure that's a USB port. Let's give it a whirl. Alright, here it goes. Oh, this one actually does not have an extended port. It has not been replaced yet. I know that there's one, at least in this pile, that has. Hopefully this doesn't have any ripped pads. Taking too long. Let's put some low melt on there. Alright. Cool, we've got all our pads on there still. Alright. Beautiful. USB port. Ports. This is how we do it. La, 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 la. This is how we do it. Lovely. I swear I'll get at least one of these fixed on this stream. All right. Okay. Plug it into our power. Beautiful. It immediately worked. That's how I know. That's how I know it was the USB port. Excellent. Yep, and I can see the screen on the back there. There you have it. We got one working. Let's wiggle that port, make sure nothing changes. And then let's go ahead and flip our cable around and make sure it works the other way around too. Immediately started working. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. So, one LG Ultrafine 5K board replaced, or USB-C port replaced, and gee golly, is that how I'm gonna do that now moving forward with that fan connector? We're just gonna cover it with a piece of metal. That just worked too good. Okay, well let me, where's my marker? I want to write on this one. That makes me want to give Mohammed a go here. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm feeling confident now. First up, let's cover our fan connector. What a strat. Should have been doing it ages ago. Yeah, this port looks pretty much exactly like Justin's that we just fixed up there. All right. A little bit of flux. The image was looking all jittery. Is that normal? It is not normal unless your test display is cracked like mine is. Also, welcome to the stream. I apologize I didn't notice your chat sooner if you've been waiting around for my answer. But yeah, no, we're using a test display that has a cracked LCD, so it's gonna have that flicker there. There we go. Excellent. No missing pads. I like that. Let's get this tinned up. Ports. Get your ports. Okay. Had a couple of bridged pins on that on our connector there, but we got that sorted out, no problem. I remember Alex from Northridge mentioning in a video a few months ago he could not find a source for them. Oh, I didn't know you could buy USB replacement sorts. So yes, you can actually buy both the original USB-C port and an extended version that in theory is supposed to help prevent the problem because it allows the port to sit more flush with the back of the monitor and in theory take some of the strain off the solder joints of the port and put more of that strain on the bezel around the port. I'm not sure if that's actually going to help because if you think about it, since the port's longer now, even if it's got that support of plastic around it, I don't think the tolerances are tight enough, and now that the port's extended, you've actually given your cable more leverage to bend up against that the solder joints and break sooner. But I don't know. I can't say for sure. I will, for now, at least assume that the seller of both of these ports wouldn't be selling the extended versions if they were at least making problems worse, if not better. So we do all of these USB-C port replacements with the extended version also. So anyways, yes, there's two places you can get them. You can go on eBay and you can search for LG Ultrafine USB port, and there's a seller called Cell Phones Plus that sells them. They're in the US. And there's also, I can't remember, but if you look hard enough, you can find a cheaper option that's essentially the same port, but I can't remember where it was. And honestly, I'm going to continue to support the eBay store that got us into all of this because they're one of the first folks that gave us a chance to even try our hand at an LG Ultrafine repair. They sent a couple of 5K boards in. It did take a few tries our first time, but we did get the hang of it. Oh, let's see here. I'm a little worried seeing those AC wires dangling around in front of you. They are all insulated, do not worry. I realize AC in North America is not as dangerous. Yeah. No, as a kid, I would stick my finger in the outlets for fun. But anyways, just to reassure you here, none of the AC here that you can see is actually exposed. Actually, no, that might be right there, but all right. I will slap a little bit of tape on there for now. You do make a valid point. I'll get some real electrical tape to cover that later. But anything that I can touch here and reach with my fingers is all already insulated. And then you've got your ground here, which, you know, I can suck on that all day. Anyways, enough about us sounding like we know what we're talking about here. We really don't. Who does? Let's get this port put on. And as an extra safety measure, of course, I've got the monitor itself on a power switch, so I turn it off before we do anything else with it, of course. But thank you for pointing out the... I missed a little bit of it there. Still exposed. Alright, that one's putting up a bit of a fight. And I think I know why. I'm just trying to get some of that crappy solder out of our mounting holes. Okay. Again. Yeah, the last thing I want, as confident as I may seem around electronics on live stream, is to electrocute myself and put everybody through that. This guy's not going in. there is something interfering. Oh god, I can't imagine. Yeah, if these were bare, I don't even want to think about it. Alright, we're going to try this one more time, and then I'm going to try a new port. There we go. Yes. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I think what had happened there was a little bit of the plastic mounting still stuck in one of the holes from the old port. Okay. Power is off. Let's get everything plugged in. Power is on. Verdict is very good. It immediately picked up on me. Ha ha ha! Look at that. That's me moving stuff around there. We are connected. Let's give it a quick wiggle. Yep. Let's flip it around. When you see my monitor go black here, that means it worked. Excellent. Same results. Works perfectly. Yes, we got Mohammed's fixed. Oh, I'm very excited about that. I was a little worried at first that their issue wasn't a USB port problem. From our initial testing, power off. I push the diag button a few times before I unplug everything just to make sure it's completely drained of its power. Another little easy safety step to take there. But oh man, alright, we got 2 of these LG 5K boards fixed now. And what I really like about this repair now is once we test it, it's pretty much done. We don't have to mess with these fan connectors now because we figured out how to keep them on there. We do need to hit the main legs of these ports with some low melt, or with some more leaded solder, because I want to make sure that they're extra solid. I want these ports to be as solid as possible when I send them back, because the problem is inevitably going to happen again. It's a fundamental design flaw with these monitors. But using some good solder and using good technique to get those solder joints nice and solid are going to give you the longest lifetime possible for these. So, we'll put Mohammed's away, and let's see, what else do we have? That means let's see here. Got a couple of these 4K boards. Let's see. This is the one that has a few missing parts on it. This one we already did. And this one needs to be redone. It's already been done once before. Okay. Let's put away our 5K test monitor and break out the 4K monitor. Hey Mohammed, glad you could make it to this stream and catch your board getting fixed. I was right with you there, a little nervous at first, but we jumped into it, we got it. Easy peasy. Alright, here's our 4K test monitor. Considerably smaller, it's a 24-inch instead of our 27-inch 5K. Power's still off, so this is perfectly safe. Okay. This one we just need to put our shield back on. That's already done. We got that one fixed on the last live stream with our LG Ultrafine boards. Let's see, this one needs the port, this one needs a port, but this one has a few missing capacitors on it. So let's go ahead and pluck those capacitors off of this board, measure them, and see if we don't have anything on hand to fix that. So that's going to be this guy and this guy. Oh shit, you guys can't see that. You still can't see it. There we go. You can kind of see it now. So this capacitor and this capacitor are missing on this board. Let's see, there are two. The pads are still fine. The components just broke off. So luckily, we've got a couple of these 4K Ultrafine boards in, so we can pull the part off and see what it is. If that was not the case, we would have to hunt down schematics if they existed. Okay. Excellent. Now, what are they? .7 microfarads for the one on the left. .7. They're both 2.7 microfarads. Okay. Let's get those put back on before we lose them. Very good. And then let's see, do I have any 2.7 microfarad capacitors? I don't even have a capacitor book. Alright, I've got some. Funny enough. Whether this is the only problem or not. Aside from the USB port. They are a little big, but they will work. Okay, cool. Before we do any actual USB port replacements, I want to see if this board is screwed up or not, because there were those missing parts. Who knows what else happened to it. All right, nothing exploded. It works. Yeah, this one works just fine. Oh, but that port is pretty bent. So, yeah. Okay. Let's get that done. Boink. Pad check. Perfect. Oh boy, this thing is falling apart. Okay. Port. And oh, that is horribly off. Horrendously off. Cool. Nothing blew up. Very good. Still works wiggling it around. Let's reverse it. All right, still working. Excellent. So, one more Ultrafine 4K board. These power supply connectors are a real pain in the ass sometimes, yeah? There we go. Here we have it. This one looks pretty straight. All right. But the port is a little bent, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and replace that. This is a slightly different board. It's got extra connectors on it. Oh. I wonder what's different in this other monitor. Oh well, let's get this port replaced. I can tell whoever replaced that port used low melt solder for the legs. No bueno. This translates to a repair that won't last. And yeah. Unfortunately, we have a little bit of damage on this board. Let me go ahead and look up USB-C pinout so I can see what pin's missing there. We might be able to get away without it. But I'm not optimistic. So we are missing the top pin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over from the left. So A5 would be CC1 USB power delivery communication. I don't like that. I'll show you guys up close what I'm talking about here. So it's clear somebody else worked on this. Based on how easy it was to take that port off, I'm guessing they still use low melt solder to put the new one on there when they did it. And we do have our missing A5 pad right here. Can I run a trace wire for that? I'm not confident in trace wires at all with these LG Ultrafine USB-C ports, unfortunately, because of how little tolerance there already is to get every single pin connected. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm just going to call that one a no fix. I'm not going to even try with that guy, because we could mess around trying to run a trace wire, but chances are the thickness of that trace wire is going to offset the rest of the pads too much, and I don't know, I might be wrong. If Justin is, oh shoot, we forgot to update the name on the screen there. If Justin is so inclined to send this to a more capable shop to run a trace wire on that, then more power to them. Alright, well, we do have one more thing that we need to fix here, and that is Justin's HomePod amplifier board. Funny enough, he believes it has DC offset, and I believe him. Let's see here. Okay. Alright, let's test this sucker out really quick and see what we're dealing with. What is the weather?
It's currently foggy and full.
Sick. You work. Give me your logic board. Come here. Alright, Mr. Amplifier, what have you got for us? Is our offset meter working? Yes, it is. No, this one is measuring quite excellent at 3 millivolts. Let me double check my email. Maybe I'm mistaken here. Doobity doobity doo. All right. Amp test for DC. Okay, well actually, this one doesn't look like it actually needs anything. I mean, technically, we do have the Devil's diode on here with the date code of 1748K. So we should, I'll go ahead and ask Justin if he wants us to replace that. I'm sure he will want that replaced. But that aside, I can't find I can't find anything actually wrong with this amplifier board. He says when he took it apart, he found a roasted subwoofer inside, or at the least the subwoofer smelled burned. So I don't see any evidence that that happened, or that would have happened from this board. Not impossible, but not something I've seen yet. But with that said, it looks like we've actually got everything fixed up. So in total, we got one of those two LG Ultrafine boards repaired today. The other one had a missing pad and a little bit of damage. So that's 2 out of 3 Ultrafine 4K boards in total that got working. And then we've got 1, 2, 3 Ultrafine 5K boards we fixed. Hey, that's not bad. Alright folks, that is it. Hope you all enjoyed this live stream repair. A little different than the usual, but we'll get the hang of it. And if you want to catch more of this kind of content, we've always got more stuff being sent in. Feel free to subscribe. I will